So it's been a few weeks since I last worked on this. There's a few issues that I had. One, I showed you how I was putting the paper down, and that was just not turning out very well. And I found out the problem was I bought new paper that was much thinner than the other paper I was using, and it just was falling apart when I tried to rub it. This is actually a heavier weight paper, so it's actually turned out the way I wanted it to. You notice that the outside is missing, and I'll get to that in a minute. So my plan is, actually I'll get to it now. I also spent a lot of time trying to print out letters for the wording that's going around the edge. Now this is walnut. I originally was doing it in a softer wood, but I wanted to do a nicer wood for this. This is actually walnut that I cut from a tree. But it took me a while to find the right font and the right size so that it matches what's on the actual seal. So what my goal is to remove some of the wood around the edge where the wording goes, put all the letters in place just enough so that it's about 3/4 of deep of what the letters are. Then I'll glue the letters in place, and I just ordered a dark blue epoxy resin that I'm going to fill in the whole outer edge, so it will come up about 3/4 of the way to the letters, and then I'll sand everything flat. That'll make a really nice solid blue exterior with the letters embedded in it. And I think it'll turn out really nice. The challenge is I have to get this area trimmed down perpendicular and even the whole way around, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I started doing it with my hand plane here, but this area right here is where I was working, and it's tilting outward, and I can't do it that way. I might have to resort to my chisels, but that's going to be a challenge as well. I may have to resort to using my big router, which I don't like using because that's one of the few shop tools that really scares the willies out of me. It also creates an awful amount of dust, so I'd probably have to do it outside. Or I could use my Dremel, but again, the challenge with that is trying to keep it even the whole way around. So I have to think about how I'm going to do that before I go any further. I don't want to ruin this piece of wood, so I'm probably not going to do any more on it this morning. But the other thing I'll show you, get it out. This is a piece of cherry, and it looks really rough. I just hand cut it, or cut it from the piece of wood with the chainsaw, so I have to cut a section of it out and plane it down flat. But the eagle itself will be carved out of this and then mounted onto this. So that's going to take a little while to do. I'm probably not going to use this exact piece of wood because to cut it with a curve somehow. It'd be really hard to get that into a flat piece. But I think that'll look really nice. Cherry's a softer wood, so it'll be easier to carve. And I'll hand carve that. And then I have to also carve out all the other stuff in here. So I got a lot of work to do yet. It's going to take longer than I expected, but I want to do something different than what I did for the first one. I think this is going to look really nice with it's a dark, almost the same color blue as the flag, but it's got like a pearlescent kind of color to it. So I think that's going to look really nice. So I need to put thought into it, and some of what I do when I don't work on something is I'll think about how I want it to look. In fact, that's the most challenging part, is how do I want it to look, and how am I going to accomplish it. So more on that later. But again, I think this is going to look nice. It's just going to take a while. In fact, what I might do is not work on this, and I'll start working on the eagle. I'll have to show you also some of the other things I was working on. I have a bench that I was making for a scout that's doing her eagle project, and I have to finish that because I'm donating 3 benches for her project. She's probably got a few months till she does the project, but I'm going to get a start on it. And I have this one to make. I have an Army SEAL to make. I have a Navy SEAL and an Air Force SEAL and an IRS SEAL. So my orders are backing up, but that's okay. Most everybody's patient. 2 of them are for Christmas time anyway, so I got some time, but I got a lot of stuff going on. Next month I have 2 classes I'm teaching for cyber equippy, electronics, and then wood carving. So I'm going to do some of the eagle for wood carving. Show the scouts what I do. Electronics. So for electronics, we have them put together an electronic circuit. And this is actually a circuit board that I had professionally made for the class. So they have to solder the parts in, and it's a little circuit that, you know, when you adjust the potentiometer, it changes the pitch coming out of the speaker. So I designed that and sent it off to be manufactured. I don't know if you can read the text on it. No, you can't. But we had 75 of those come in last week. Then we ship the parts and the boards to the scouts, and they get their own soldering iron and put it together. It's a fun class. This is the 4th year that I've made a project for it. So it's fun, and it's really cheap to get these boards made. Ironically, the company I get it from is in China, and with shipping, usually shipping is more than the actual price of the boards. They come out to like 5 cents a piece. Last year I found an American company out in California that does the same thing, and I requested a quote for them. They wanted over $1.50 for each board. And it just boggles my mind. How can they be competitive, or, you know, want people to purchase their product because it's American made when it costs that much more than something I can get done in China? I was disappointed even when I told them it was, you know, for scouts, and, you know, asked if they would do a discount. They wouldn't. So it is what it is, I guess. You know, I prefer to support local or companies that are in the States, but you know, you have to do what you have to do. This is all donated stuff, and I can't afford to spend, you know, $300 for boards to donate when I can get them for 30. That was disappointing, but anyways, I digress. But yeah, I'll do more videos. I also have a lot of stuff at the house that I had to take care of. So I'm just trying to keep up with everything is a challenge. Plus I had back problems, and this past week I hurt my shoulders. So it's been a rough few weeks. But yeah, I'm getting back in the groove. This whole paper thing really set me back because I couldn't figure out why the paper wasn't coming out. The image wasn't coming out. And I never thought of, you know, a cheaper paper being the problem, but it makes sense. And when I go to carve it, I'll probably put a little water on it just so I can see it a little better. And when it dries, you know, you spray a little bit more on. You just can't get too wet because then it makes carving a little more difficult. But I have to remember that next time I work on one. So that's it for now. It's a short video, but Fred in the Zone right now has me up almost the night, so I need to get ready for work soon. So have a good morning.